I think that we've been pretty hyper focused and on the systems for the construction business, and like I said, that's we were talking about this last night actually, but I think we've been very good at hiring people and not resumes, to where like the culture of our company is excellent.
Yeah.
Right. And
so what are you doing first? What do you mean by you saying you're hiring people, not resumes? What do you mean by that to get your culture excellent? What exactly do you mean by that?
Meaning like I don't necessarily care about like the experience of like specifically what you're doing. Like our project manager that we just brought on, she has no construction experience, right? Zero. But she was a project manager before for banks and whatever. So she's understands of like what her role is, right? But there's a huge learning curve for what she's doing. But the more important thing is that like she's willing to learn. She wants to learn. She wants to be better. She treats the company like her own, right?
Yeah.
And same thing with Caitlin. Like Caitlin is.
So the question, the first thing you're asking, is it the right person?
Is it the right person?
Is that person
right?
a fit with us?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is this somebody that is this somebody I want to work with every day?
Yeah.
Right.
We've had that come through a lot lately about a lot of successful guys coming through about when they started hiring that way, it just their company turned into something so much better than what it was.
Right.
Yeah, but like Patrick Bet-David talks about it a lot, like entrepreneur versus intrapreneur, and Caitlin's definitely an intrapreneur in the sense of where she feels like we treat her like as if she's an owner of this business on the executive team with us, and she's earned that spot, right? Yeah. But like she doesn't need to be told to do, if something needs to get done in her mind, she's going to do it. Yep. The same way with our supervisor, my father, on Sunday, without telling, he takes a 2-belt off, he'll die, right? Yeah. But on Sundays, without telling anyone, he's at the job site preparing it because the rain's coming tomorrow, without telling anybody. Yeah. Yep. And he's doing 14-hour days. Yep. That's every day though. So like you can't find those people really. For sure. Yeah. So when you have them, it's like how do you preserve them? Yeah. And how do you ensure that they're happy and the team they're on?
Well, yeah, it's
and how do you reward people? Like that's the thing with what we're going through right now is like how we got certain people that they weren't supposed to do showings on like after hours or during the weekend, and I'm like, what? It's like when people that have jobs that potentially want to maybe look at an apartment.
See an apartment at 11 a.m.
So what we've kind of done is we've just thrown an incentive out there, like okay, for every lease after hours we'll pay you an extra $250, whatever. So we've got different incentives out there at certain properties that we're struggling with occupancy at to get caught up, and that's kind of how we signed 50 leases at this one property in 4 weeks because we kind of threw some of those incentives out there, and people are like, all right, let's go get it, and we removed some red tape, and they were amped, like you were just talking about. They're amped to just put in the extra time.
You gotta know what makes people tick too. You know what I mean?
You probably get a better tenant too.
Yeah.
Usually the tenant that's available Monday morning, 8 a.m. is probably not the best guy.
I guess